Joining us on the How Did You podcast today is Michael, also known as MP39 Edits Online, who is a video editor and social media manager working with very notable people. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you joining the podcast. I want to know, what was your plan for your journey? Was it always to get into video editing or social media management, or did this come at the drop of a hat after you were approached by multiple different people?
Well, it always just started as a hobby for me. I was just working on like little passion projects, and then it sort of spiraled into people asking and then paying, and then that just evolved into where I am now.
I can understand how it literally just develops so quickly because technology is changing, so is social media, and so is TikTok. But how did you end up working with Fnatic and ultimately Victor?
Um, I just sort of, well, I saw other people who were working because I wanted to get into esports, and they recommended just to message him and reach out because I'd never really been a fan of reaching out because I felt it was sort of intrusive. But then I just did it, and he happened to see it, um, and I worked on the project for him, and then he changed jobs to Sidemen, and that's where we are now.
How is it working with the Sidemen? Because you've blown up the Side Plus TikTok, and now you're working on the Sidemen TikTok officially. How is it to have that grow to such a great standard there? You're getting multiple millions of views on videos.
It's pretty cool, but ultimately, like yeah, I have something to do with it, but ultimately they're the ones making the content, so um, it's makes it easier when it's already the foundation is set.
I've always been intrigued from your point of view. You obviously have to get content ready to go out on socials and stuff like that. So, do you see the Sidemen edits early?
Yeah. Well, most of the time, yeah.
But then I'm guessing sometimes you've had to watch the episode and then pull it out straight away and see what's good. I'm guessing so you have to work quite quickly.
Yeah, it can be a quick turnaround time at most of the times, but um it's all part of the job, I guess.
Definitely. I want to know, what is the one thing that you think that people don't understand about your job, which you do?
It's not as simple as just, posting and just hoping for the best and that anyone can do it. It's more um it's I guess more tactical than you think. You've got to understand your audience and really it's mainly optimization, optimizing for your audience. Trying to get new people on board that never have watched your content and also appealing to the people that also already follow you. So it's sort of a balance between trending topics, being original, and you know uh, making it as I guess high paced and interesting as possible.
I've seen that most recently you've had a TikTok which is talking about Harry and Toby with racism, and that's on 7.5 million views. How proud does that make you?
Um, well, I guess when you put it like about racism, it's it was it was more of like a joke just to clear up for the audience. So I guess it makes me like it's not really proud, but it's more like just relieved and just happy to see it doing well. When it's something like on Sidemen TikTok, it's like a concept, like a trend. It's not just a clip, and it's something to do with like something that I came up with all on my own. Then it's more proud because it's like I had more. Like it wouldn't have happened because of me, compared to just editing a clip down.
Yeah, obviously with that TikTok, it was a joke, but it's kind of the fun stuff that the Sidemen love to hear, but in a more condensed format. But who do you look up to? Is there some other people that work in TikTok or social media that you take inspiration from?
Um, I don't really look up to anyone. I just like, I obviously have respect for a lot of people, but the main thing is if I see something I like on my For You page, I'll try and, take inspiration for that. I guess when I was more up and coming, I looked up to a lot of people, but um, now that I'm sort of more established, it's more so just knowing to keep an eye out on the trends and what everyone's doing and to be more involved in the community to understand what works well and what doesn't.
Can completely get that because you got to adapt or die. If you had to choose, say, someone you're yet to work with that you'd love to work with, who would it be?
Um, as in like a client or someone like,
Yeah, a client.
I don't really know to be honest. Whoever gives the best working conditions, I guess.
I can understand that. What has been the most stressful time for yourself whilst working?
Stressful was is probably like I don't know, it's like because sometimes if you make like little mistakes or I guess big ones as well, you always like, especially being freelance, it's not very you don't have much job security. So I'm always major part of me is I'm always just like stressed about, I guess maybe overthinking, maybe not overthinking about, am I doing good enough? If one month isn't doing as well as the other, if I do something bad, how will they think about me, or how that affect my work in the future? So it's mainly just stresses about um doing a good job, and I guess some stresses are about keeping up the schedule and staying on schedule, but mainly just my job and my job security at the moment.
Can understand that because everybody needs a wage nowadays. But if we had to flip that on its head, what's the what's your favorite experience that you've had?
My favorite was probably when I got asked to work for the Sidemen. Like it was pretty I guess it was surreal is the word that I'd say. Watching them for so long and then finally you know, working for it. And then another one would be hitting 1 million on Side Plus, because it was like I tried to do it before the end of the year. So like I think it was like 5 months or 4 months, and then we hit it on like the 31st of December or something. I can't remember. I thought it would feel like better at the time. Like it was sort of because it was a long time ago. I thought it would make me like ecstatic, but I guess it wasn't as joyful as I thought it was, but it was still pretty like proud to do.
Getting 1 million followers on a TikTok after such a short time, sorry, is quite impressive. And you have adapted that TikTok to get new formats. I've seen your tweets, your LinkedIn, and your lots of different references where you talk about how subtitles have an impact, stuff like that. The fact that the subtitles are now in the middle makes it easier to read. How much like pain or trial and error do you go through?
Um, Not a lot, to be honest. It's I've just sort of learnt what works well. I guess more so uh, taking my mind out of the editing process and thinking about it from a viewer's point of view. So sometimes I'll just like go back and watch all the old content just for fun, and I'll realize like how it looks for a viewer, because obviously I've forgotten what most of it is after not editing for a while. So one thing I used to do was I used to animate like the words, like all of them, really you know, extravagantly, but now I just sort of add like one line of words and then cut to the next, because I found it was like a little bit more illegible when there was more animation. So when I dialed it down, I think it helped to make it more readable.
Where do you see yourself in a year? Do you hope that you're still working with Sidemen, Fnatic, Victor, and everybody, or is there a bigger long term goal?
I've got no clue, to be honest. Obviously, I hope I'm still working with the Sidemen, because they're my biggest client, and they're also a good client. Um, but really, I always like think to myself, like it's always like I got no clue what's going to happen. I just sort of go with the flow. I wish I could plan more, but at the moment, it's sort of just see how it all goes, and how I can better myself, and where we land is where we land. As long as nothing bad happens, and I'm happy.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen. But if you had to say, what is your favorite piece of technology? Is it whatever you edit on, or is it something completely different, like, I don't know, a games console?
My favorite piece of technology, I don't know, it's probably just got to be my phone. Um, just because it's so versatile. I can just will make money just sitting at on my phone. That's pretty cool. So I guess my phone, it's like I can do all the editing, but without my phone, then well, I guess I could still, but I wouldn't be able to do it as well. So I guess I could do everything off that, and then probably my PC would be second, just because it's high power. So yeah.
Are you an Android or an Apple man?
I'm Android, but I want to get I used to be Apple, but now I want to get like another phone just for like personal things, like personal, and then have work to be Apple, because obviously the Android camera isn't good in app, and um so it will help with my own content. But uh I use that iPhone for a bit for work, and I like on Google Drive, for example, downloading files is just a nightmare. You have to download them all individually, and that you can't download them in the background, at least that I'm aware of. So um, that's it's like I could never go to Apple again until they fix like until they make it more user friendly.
Mac or Windows?
Windows.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Um, Personally, I use PlayStation. Um, I guess the bigger player base just makes it better for me. Um, more players means more friends means quicker searches. So yeah.
What game are you playing at the moment?
Multiverses, Rainbow Six, FIFA, I guess, but not really that much FIFA. Rocket League, I'm playing. Yeah, but I'm ultimately just waiting for GTA 6 to come out when it does.
Are you a GTA 6 fan? Well, GTA fan.
Well, we've been waiting for too long, so but if it has to be one of the games of like the decade when it comes out. Hopefully they don't butcher it.
I can completely understand that. Are you watching anything special at the moment?
Um, no, I just usually just watch YouTube. To be honest, I don't really watch movies or shows. I just like watching YouTube.
Who are you watching on YouTube?
Sidemen, um, Ludwig. I don't know. I watch lots of people. Just I can go on my recommended feed right now, and I'll tell you some people that pop up. Um, yeah, I guess Ludwig, um, peer to peer podcast. Um, Vox is always a good one. Yeah, just a bunch of random people. It's all just my interest really. Wherever it goes, it goes. I go through phases as well. So if I'm into something, then I'll go through a phase of watching that.
I can completely understand that. Is there any kind of music you're listening to at the moment?
Um, my music is like all over the place as well. So I listen to it's just whoever's in my playlist. But I guess my favorite artist at the moment would be Jaleel and Lil Nas X. So I guess different ends of the spectrum, but still, I like their music, so I like their music, and yeah. Also, Four Riff is a good one, and yeah, some pretty I guess more it's more like chill music. Some a little bit of rap in there as well. So it's differs, but if I like how it sounds, and I like how it sounds.
Exactly. It's got to be good for you. I want to know, what's the longest amount of time you've ever spent on an edit?
Um, well, what like a TikTok edit? Probably like I used to do like animated stuff. So um, they used to tell stories. Well, they still do, but they when they would tell a story, instead of just adding subtitles, I would animate it. And one time I did like an anime edit. So they were talking about how they were on a football pitch and they were kicking balls and something bad happened. So I animated it like it was an anime. So it probably took me like a couple hours to add all the visuals. Then I added sound effects, and I was really proud of it. It got like it wasn't like the highest viewed, but it still did pretty well, and I was pretty happy that a lot of people saw it. So it's got like I think maybe 2.5 mil, 3 mil on TikTok. I can't remember how much is on YouTube, but I think it's around the same. So it was, yeah. I guess that's probably one of my favorites, and it's taken me a long time.
I completely understand that because the amount of time you put into something means that you get a good output or a good product. But if you had to give one bit of advice to somebody, what would you give?
Um, just I don't know, just start watch YouTube tutorials. Um, yeah, just start and watch YouTube tutorials and try and learn something new with every job that you do. So yeah, if you're learning something new, then even if it takes a lot while, you'll still slowly improve, and that's all that matters.
With that in mind, thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.